My dad's secret affair led to a baby. Now, my family wants me to help raise it. You won't believe what happened next. My name is Emma, and my life was turned upside down by a secret I never saw coming. It all started when I found out my dad had been having an affair with a woman who wasn't my mom. What I didn't expect was that the affair would lead to something that would change everything, an unexpected child. But even more shocking was how my family wanted me to be a part of it. It all started on a quiet evening when my parents were out. I had just gotten home from work and was about to settle in for the night when I found my dad's phone on the kitchen counter. His phone was always within arm's reach, but it wasn't like him to leave it unattended. Out of curiosity, I picked it up, thinking I might send a quick message to my mom to let her know I was home. But when I unlocked it, my heart stopped. There were text messages from someone named Lucy. The conversation was intimate, full of flirtation, and the kind of messages that no daughter should ever read from her father. But it wasn't just the text that made my blood run cold. I scrolled further and saw pictures of my dad and this woman together, smiling, holding hands, completely in love. It was clear my dad had been cheating on my mom for a while, and I was just finding out. I was hurt, confused, and angry. But the worst part was yet to come. The next day, my dad sat me down. I had confronted him about the affair, demanding answers, and he confessed. But he wasn't alone in the room. He had brought my mom with him, and they both told me something I couldn't believe. Dad, Emma, there's something you need to know. The affair. It led to something bigger. Lucy is pregnant, and she's having the baby. At first, I thought I had misheard, but my mom's reaction confirmed it. She was upset, but strangely, she wasn't as angry as I thought she would be. She told me that they had been trying to figure out what to do with the situation and that Lucy had asked if I would help take care of the baby once it was born. I couldn't believe it. My dad's affair wasn't just a betrayal of my mom, it was now a betrayal to me too. And now they wanted me to play a part in raising the child. I felt like my entire world was crumbling. I had no idea how to respond. How could they expect me to embrace this child, to treat it like family when it was a constant reminder of my dad's betrayal? Over the next few weeks, my family tried to make me understand. My dad kept telling me that I needed to be supportive and that Lucy was a nice person who deserved help. My mom, who was devastated but strangely composed, kept reminding me that family was everything and that this baby, innocent in all of this, deserved love too. But I couldn't shake the feeling of betrayal. The emotional turmoil was overwhelming. My thoughts were racing. How could I help raise the baby of the woman who had torn my family apart? How could I be expected to look at this child and not see my dad's affair staring back at me? It was too much. Then one day, Lucy called me directly. She was nervous, almost apologetic, as she explained how she was struggling. She didn't know how to handle the situation on her own, and she was asking for my help, not just as my dad's child, but as someone who could be there for her in a time of crisis. Lucy, Emma, I know this is a lot. I didn't plan for this to happen, and I never wanted to cause problems between you and your family. But I need someone to help me. This baby, it's part of your family too. Hearing her say that was like a slap in the face, but at the same time, it hit me hard. The baby wasn't responsible for any of this. It wasn't the child's fault that my dad had made a huge mistake. I thought about everything, about how much pain my mom was in, about how I felt about my dad's actions, and realized something that shocked me. I had to make a choice. I had to decide if I was going to let my anger control me, or if I was going to be bigger than that. I met with Lucy a few days later to talk. I didn't know what to expect, but when I saw her, I saw someone who was just as scared as I was. She wasn't a villain in all of this. She was just as much a victim of my dad's actions. After hours of talking and crying, I came to a conclusion that I never thought I'd reach. I had to help. Not just because my dad wanted me to, but because the baby deserved it. When the baby was born a few months later, I was there, holding the tiny little girl in my arms. Her name was Emma, named after me, which felt like a strange, full-circle moment. I couldn't help but feel a mix of emotions, confusion, anger, and a deep sense of responsibility. But in that moment, as I looked at her innocent face, I realized that this child wasn't the enemy. She wasn't the cause of the pain I felt. She was just a baby, looking for love and care. In the end, I decided to be a part of her life. I helped raise her, not out of obligation, but because I realized that in this twisted mess of family betrayal, this was the one thing I could do right. I could offer her love, something that she would need no matter what her origins were. It wasn't easy. There were days when I wanted to scream, days when I resented the situation. But as the years went by, I saw the baby Emma grow into an amazing little girl. And with each passing day, I started to heal, not just from my dad's affair, but from the wounds I'd been carrying. As I looked back on everything, I realized that the pain of the past didn't have to control my future. I wasn't going to let one mistake define me, or the little girl I had grown to love.